Hey guys, today I'm going to paint a 2.5 square bill. Going to do a Berkeley pattern called the Orange Tiger, and we're going to use the stencil that I made a few videos back. I'll put a link back at the end screen in case you missed that video. Stick with me. Alright, here we go. I have already put on the base coat as we do every time. I'm using the Createx Opaque White. Put the base coat down so all the colors will come out right. Got that already done. To be honest, a lot of times in situations, guys, what I'll do is I'll take some of the opaque white and I may put a base coat on 5, 6, 7, 8 lures. I may just sit down one night and that's all I do is put on a base coat on a whole bunch of them. I figure I'm going to put the base coat on all of them anyway. Why not just do all at one time instead of do one at a time when I'm doing each lure? So that's why a lot of times here you'll find me come in and already have the base coat on. Alright, we're going to do the Orange Tiger. Now, this is almost, to me it looks like it's almost a reverse of the Fire Tiger pattern. So we're going to start out Createx Lime Green, and I like the pearlized lime. So that's what we're going to start out with. We're just going to come right up the belly. We'll probably come halfway upside about to the lateral line they have on the lure with our lime green. And there we go. That's all we'll take on that. Alright, let me clean the gun out real quick and we'll move on to the next color. Alright, we have the lime green in place. Next thing we're going to do, Createx Transparent Orange. And like I said, it's almost just a reversal of the Fire Tiger, only we're going to go with the, instead of the orange in the belly, we're going with the orange on top. Hence probably why they called it the Orange Tiger, huh? We're just going to let it blend down with that lime on the side. Kind of shoot down across, that way we get our blending in that we're looking for. Make sure we get that nose in there good. You got that. We're not going to do anything on the face this time to darken that up, so make sure we get around that nose real well. Alright, that's all there is to that. Now I'm going to have to take the heat gun. We're going to have to dry this really good because if I'm going to use the stencil over the top, I want to make sure that paint is good and dry before I put that stencil up against there. Alright, we are now ready to use the stencil. Got it good and dry. Now, here's the way I like to do this. I'll put it in a helping hand like this. And I like to take the stencil and then take where the bill is and push on the bill. And that kind of pushes it down. That should hold it in pretty good shape for you. So we're going to use the Createx Opaque Black for the stencil. And we'll just push this one down like this. Got some loaded. We got that, and there we go. Got her done there. Now let's turn it around. And again, we'll get it where we pinch down on it so we hold it in place. And we got it. And there we go. There is our Orange Tiger. Just needs a set of eyes and top coat, so we'll work on that next. Okay, we are ready for the eyes. And even though they have the sticky on them on the backs, I like to add just a little bit to that. So with a toothpick, I'll add a little tacky glue. I think we're going to go ahead and go with the red eyes. That's the ones I happen to have the right size. And we'll just, I had him and I turned him over. Flip him back around, there we go. Into place. And I'll get another one off the page here. Get him down into that spot and I got him. There we go. Now, once I have the eyes in, before I put a top coat, I'm probably going to wait a good half hour or so. I'm going to give that eye time to settle in there just a little bit before I put a top coat on it. Okay, for the two-part top coat, I use the Bob Smith Industries epoxy, and there's two kinds. There's a 5-minute and a 30-minute. And I like to use a 30-minute to give yourself plenty of time. As I mentioned before in my videos, there's a lot of discussion. Make sure you get equal parts. Do you do it by weight? Do you do it by volume? Or how do you do it? And I just squirt some of each in there. So far, that hasn't been a problem. Someday, probably, it will be. But for now, I've gotten by with that. So give it a good mix. Get it all mixed in there real well. And then to put it on, I'm just going to take just a cheap Walmart brush. Buy like 20 or 30 of those for $1.50 or something like that. And that is it. The key is, if you worry about brush strokes, once you put it on, we're going to hang these up. I don't have a turner. I just hang mine. And when you hang them up, you'll have enough time in here. Everything will run towards the back. And when it does that, that will take care of any brush strokes that you might have. So all you want to do is just make sure you get a good even coat on everything. You don't have to get in a big hurry, but then again at the same time, you don't want to take too long either. You want to get this done and get it on there and give it time so it can run down the back and level itself off a little to get rid of the excess. Now for the back, I got to see if I got a wire around here. I didn't even get a wire out ahead of time. A little bit more. There we go. Alright, let me give it a good look over. There's a little spot right there. Here we go. That's okay. Looks good on the back. Everything looks good. And let me see if I got... There we go. I like to take a wire. I'll put a wire through there, and then I hang it up. When everything runs down, it'll catch on the wire, and then it's easier to take that off the back. All right. Now, we'll give that time to dry, and we'll see what we got. Well, there we have it, the Orange Tiger. You know, I've had a fair amount of success with the Fire Tiger, so I think I'm really going to look forward to getting this one out next year and seeing if it works as well as the Fire Tiger. Hey, thanks for sticking with me. Subscribe to the channel if you would. Hope to see you again real soon.